Hello, and thank you for joining us at XM.com for this Forex Preview video. We'll be having a look at the Bank of Canada meeting on Wednesday. I'm Christina Marujos, and joining me today is Marios Hadjikyriacos, investment analyst. Now, Marios, the Bank of Canada meets on Wednesday, and even though it's not expected to change its policy, it looks like the accompanying statement will be crucial for investors. We've been seeing a steady recovery from the virus impact on Canada's economy, yet there are lingering risks given Canada's exposure to the United States, where the virus is resurging in several states. So one would assume that the Bank of Canada would keep a rather dovish bias. What could be the immediate reaction in the loonie?
Hello, Christina. Well, indeed, we've seen some encouraging signs from Canada lately. So if you just look at Canadian economic data, they are recovering slowly but surely. The labor market is healing. The PMIs suggest that the broader economy is also healing. And of course, that has been helped by giant stimulus measures, both from the government and the central bank. Now, what's important here is that, yes, the domestic situation is going according to plan in a sense, but across the border in the US, things are going in the wrong direction. And that's important for Canada because around 3/4 of all Canadian exports are destined to the US market. So no matter how you slice it, Canada's economy depends on the US economy doing well. And it's not doing that well right now. I think that's one of the reasons that the loonie has been underperforming lately. And I also think that this will lead the Bank of Canada to assume a more cautious stance, let's say. I think that they'll say something like, yes, the domestic situation has been improving, but we are very mindful of what's happening over the border. And if the US situation continues to worsen, then we would step in and add more stimulus. I think that from a risk management approach, it makes a lot more sense to be proactive here. And if they strengthen their easing bias, that would argue for a negative reaction in the loonie.
Speaking of the loonie, it's true that the Canadian dollar has been unable to gain as much as other commodity currencies these past few months, despite the rally in oil prices. But looking further ahead, do you think there's anything on the horizon that could boost the Canadian dollar?
Well, if we're speaking about the next few weeks, no, unfortunately not. I think it's going to be a rocky few weeks. We have an earnings season coming up that's likely to be disastrous for most companies. At the same time, around early August, we'll start getting US data for July, which will capture the effects of reclosures in various states. So overall, I think that could dampen risk sentiment and potentially act against the Canadian dollar. But longer term, once the US virus outbreak is brought under control, I think that we could see a very powerful rally. The fact that the loonie has underperformed so far implies that it has greater scope to strengthen going forward if things start moving in the right direction. And that is also supported by positioning data, which show that hedge funds and other large speculators are still net short the loonie. What does that mean? If we get some good news, there's the potential for a short squeeze. So as the loonie starts to gain, several shorts are either closed or covered, and that could help the currency to gain even further.
Marios, thank you so much for joining me today for this Forex Preview on the Bank of Canada meeting on Wednesday, and thank you for watching us here at XM.com.